Urbex is illegal and no one is above the law, including us. On November 26, 2024, we were convicted again by the French justice system. We'll share everything in this video and reveal our sentence.
We're back in court again.
We promised ourselves that this would be the last time.
And yet, here we are again. I hope we don't get too harsh a sentence. Hello everyone, it's Gabriel.
And quarantine. We're back with a special video since it's been over a month since our last post. Today, we'll explain why. I think someone is here.
If it were the police, they wouldn't come in through the window. As you can see, we're currently in an abandoned courthouse and we're here today for a reason. It's because we're going to tell you a story, the story of our last conviction in court.
We'll share everything from when we got the first summons and learned which video was involved to the trial and final sentence. You'll hear it all in this video.
You'll see, we were in for a treat.
Well, actually, no, not really.
No, it wasn't a treat, more like a Christmas present.
I'm really scared someone's here.
Yeah.
It all started last year, in April 2024, right around when we got our first summons. And at that point, we didn't really know what it was about. I'll tell you how I got mine. Actually, I woke up at around 10 o'clock with someone knocking at my door, so I didn't really know who it was. I thought it was a delivery guy. So I opened my front door, and there I see two national police officers standing on my doormat who say, "Hello, Mr. Tallerman," and so on. And then they hand me a paper, which is a summons that I have to sign, but at that moment I have no idea what it's about. And actually, I find out a bit later that we're being summoned to the Gendarmerie, which is related to the airport. Well, I don't remember exactly the name. We're summoned to Orly for a first hearing, and at that point I really don't understand what it's about.
For me, it was more relaxed since I never checked my mailbox, so the summons was probably sitting there for days. You told me we were summoned after your scare with the police. We were confused and had no idea what was happening. Like you said, it was the air transport gendarmerie at Orly. So already we're thinking, it's weird because we don't do urbex by flying, but there is still something we use in our urbex that involves flying. It's our drone, and that's going to give us a clue.
A month later, we go to the Gendarmerie for the first summons, and that's when we find out. The video for which we were convicted, or at least for which we're being taken to court, is the video where we explore the abandoned high-speed trains of the French National Railway Company.
You should know that for this video, we knew it was a very sensitive area, so we took a lot of precautions. We did everything we could to avoid entering private property. We found holes in the fence to go explore these abandoned high-speed trains, but we told ourselves it wasn't worth the risk, especially since we've already had some convictions in France. We played it safe but thought we were clever, so we explored the high-speed train area with our drone, flying it over the entire site.
We didn't realize this place was directly under the flight path of a military base just a few kilometers away, which led to our prosecution.
At the gendarmerie, of course, we were separated and we were both questioned. They asked us pretty much the same questions. And what really shocked me when I got into the office was that the gendarmes had a really thick file, maybe 100 pages. On every page, there were screenshots from our video. Like every 10 seconds, really, every shot of our video was screenshotted. And there were little comments next to each one. They did this, they did that, and so on. They mainly questioned us because they accused us of entering the place, but why did they accuse us?
Simply because on the thumbnail there was a little guy in black. But it was just something you had photoshopped. It was only for the thumbnail to make it look cooler. First they accused us, but later removed that part from the complaint.
We showed them the official before and after photo, and they said okay.
We still flew a drone over that area, so I also had my own hearing. They asked many questions, and in situations like this, we're always honest. So we talk about everything that happened without a lawyer.
We're too honest.
A little too honest. So yeah, our hearing happens, we wait 30 minutes, an hour.
Oh, are you talking about the court?
No, just after our hearing.
We wait quite a long time for the moment when we can leave, because we clearly had other things to do.
And we thought, that's it, the case is closed, you know, but no. And then he comes back and tells me, it's okay, we spoke to the prosecutor on the phone, you have a court date on November 26th.
And not at the Paris court, that would be too easy. No.
At the Bourg-en-Bresse court. Yeah, that's far.
It's far, so we'll have to return months later to the crime scene, where we explored the high-speed train graveyard to appear before the Bourg-en-Bresse court. We won't act tough there.
And by the way, before we continue this video, please give a thumbs up for the return of the videos. It would make us really happy, and it's very, very important for supporting the channel. So just take 2 seconds, give a little thumbs up, and enjoy the rest of the video.
At 10,000 likes, we'll vlog 10 days in prison. Just kidding, that's not true.
No.
That's true?
At 10,000?
No.
We met again a few months later, on November 26th, my birthday. That day was the perfect birthday. We meet another lawyer before the hearing, having already spoken with her by phone. She then shows us the file against us. Internal letters from the companies that complained show who viewed the video and reported us. It was actually a police officer from the Gendarmerie's Surveillance and Intervention Platoon. A PSAG officer saw the video, sent it to the company, and filed a complaint against us. We're shocked to learn about this, especially since there was a major file against us we didn't know about. We found out that the complaint was filed in January 2024 and that actually the process went pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's okay. So the lawyer is going to try to get to know us, see what kind of people we are, so she can defend us more easily. So we're going to talk for at least an hour and a half, and then she's going to tell us how things will go, how the session will take place, and she'll also ask us questions about the sentences we're willing to accept.
And so, you should know that our hearing was scheduled for 3:30. We met up a little earlier at the courthouse and waited until after 6 o'clock before our case was heard. It was pitch dark outside and the stress before the hearing was awful. That's when you realize French institutions are well designed for this. Entering the courtroom, I was terrified.
Yeah, the atmosphere in entering a real courtroom is truly intimidating.
When we walked in, the 3 judges stood in front of us, with our lawyer, another lawyer ahead, and the public prosecutor on the left.
And a huge audience.
So there we were, sitting in the room, actually all the way in the back, really. We sat all the way at the back of the room with the audience because we were waiting. And so we heard the verdicts of the other cases that were being judged in the 1:30 p.m. session, and we saw that there were some pretty serious things going on. Prison sentences, heavy fines, damages for theft, for violence against children, for threats.
Threats against their child.
Threats against their child, and all that are serious crimes. So we were in a criminal court, and it's scary.
It's scary.
It's scary because we're judged right after, which makes us even more afraid. And our lawyer, she was really nice. She was far from those people. She would give us little looks. Oh yeah.
Stay strong. And then our moment arrived.
And then came our trial.
Just so you know, we dressed well, even wore our turtlenecks.
We were both wearing turtlenecks, yeah.
We were at our best as we walked to the stand. Now we're sitting where the judges sat, just like you are. We were both up front waiting for it to begin.
I don't want to go back to court. So, for those who don't know how it works, a trial, well, I hope you never have to go through one. Basically, they go over all the facts again. And also, information about us to confirm that it's really us. So, they ask us all kinds of questions, and then she quickly focuses on you and doesn't let go.
She had a problem with me. So the judge asked us questions about our lifestyle, how much we get paid, how our business works, to see if we're well integrated into society. She asks us why we do our explorations, what our approach is, and we explain ourselves. For now, it's very calm. We're able to answer the questions more or less, and after about 20 minutes of discussion, it's pretty peaceful. Things were going well, and our confidence was growing. The prosecutor is about to make her closing argument.
We sit down first, and the prosecutor speaks. I have to admit, at that moment, for me...
Right then, it all came crashing down all of a sudden.
That's when it hit me suddenly. The discussion was going well. I felt lightheaded, but not overly so. Then she stood up and began recalling the facts. She accuses us of being repeat offenders, meaning that we had already been convicted before. We made a video about that, and according to the dates she had, we made that video a week after our first trial. I get that it's provocative, but they just had the dates wrong. Then she started accusing us of it.
She insults my entire family, saying my uncle's parents and everyone should be ashamed. Then she gives us the punishment she believes we deserve, and then...
When you hear that...
3 months?
A 3-month suspended prison sentence.
What is a suspended sentence, for those who might not know?
Basically, it's like a sword of Damocles hanging over your head. That means for a long time, 5 years, I think. For 5 years, if you mess up or get convicted of something, you get 3 years.
And knowing that it could be mistakes you made before, and on our channels, there are a lot of things we did in the past. There are a lot of old videos that could come back up even 2 years later, like, hey, you did this in France. Boom, the sword falls.
Now we're also thinking there's the argument and 3 months in prison, which could be awful. And especially when she said, like, yeah, they did that right after the trial, I really wanted to say, no, that's not true.
We can't,
We didn't do it after our trial, you see. I glanced at the lawyer. She was focused and not looking at us.
It's a huge come down since the prosecutor is speaking and the judges will look to them for guidance.
That's right. She gives the sentence because there was no civil party. No one filed a complaint. It was a company represented by the prosecutor. She also requested a €2,000 fine along with the 3 months in prison.
Exactly.
An additional €2,000 fine, that's starting to add up.
Each.
€2,000 each, so that's starting to be quite a lot.
At that point, that's the end of her speech. Now, it's our lawyer's turn to come and speak from where you are right now, and honestly, she's going to do an amazing job. It's going to be incredible. There, I feel like I'm rising up again, like I'm getting my wings back a little.
I was really almost moved, actually, when she was speaking, because she was really playing the card of, well, it's their passion, actually. They do this to entertain people because they want to.
History, heritage, where we save places through images.
A great speech, and right away she clarifies that after our first trial, we never did anything illegal in France again, which is true. Since our first trial, we haven't done a single urbex in France. Proof is, for example, we're in England.
And a little phrase that's also really touching for us that she adds is that she's not at all a fan of urbex or exploring abandoned places. But after watching the videos, she found it very interesting and really well put together. We thought these arguments would save us. The 3-month suspended sentence was off the table and we'd get out like kings. But calm down, it'll help a bit, though we'll still face a big penalty.
After the speech, our lawyer sits down and we're called back for a final discussion and a final statement. We also recall what our lawyer told us. What's very important is to admit your mistakes and actually apologize. Basically just to understand why we're being sentenced and not do it again. So we say we need to apologize, that we understood it was something that could hurt, that could, well, obviously since a complaint was filed against us. So there you go, we apologize. We say that we understood and that we won't do it again.
And we cross our fingers for the verdict. We're on the edge and now it's going to be...
We knock on wood.
We knock on wood. And now it's going to be another hellish wait. Because it's going to be super long again, it's going to be really delayed, and on top of that we had a train just a few minutes after the normal deliberation.
Actually, yes, so the deliberation lasted a long time, a good 1 or 2 good hours. We talked again with our lawyer, we went back into the room and told her, well actually we have a train at 8 o'clock, so at 7:35 we have to leave. And she told us, she said, yes, honestly you can leave and everything.
It's really scary.
It's scary. At 7:34, the bell rings, the judges return, and we're about to hear our final sentence, the moment you've all awaited. What we were sentenced to for that video where we flew a drone over abandoned trains.
Knowing that the reason is really simple, it's flying an aircraft over a restricted area. Honestly, when you compare it to the people who were sentenced alongside us, our case was ridiculous.
Yeah, because in the meantime, we heard other stories about people who went to court and it was way worse. There was a babysitter. What's a babysitter?
It's someone who stores drugs in a place so dealers can come pick them up. This guy got caught with it. To be clear, he had 70 kilos at his place and 3 loaded firearms. When police came for him at 6 a.m., he said if he hadn't been asleep, he would have shot through the door. We're being sentenced with people like that.
Right after that, there were people who escaped from police custody and got caught again, just before running away from the police station. I don't remember what else there was, but...
That's already a lot. We just flew a drone.
We flew a drone.
So already we really felt out of place. Anyway, the 3 judges come back, the prosecutor sits here, and we're just sitting like this on our chairs.
It's really... And so we go back to the defendant's bench. We don't actually say anything.
No, right there. We're just going to take it. We have to take it.
We await our sentence. The judge begins, then says, for this, we're fining you 1,000 euros, and then...
Each?
1,000 euro fine, each. I tell myself, okay, that's already a bit less. It should be fine.
It should stop there.
There shouldn't be anything else.
Yes, we flew the drone, come on.
No, that's not all. We got 70 hours of community service.
Phew. At least
a cold shower. We got a real cold shower.
Insane cold shower. But at least we avoid a suspended prison sentence. That's still pretty good. But 70 hours of community service for someone who works, that's 2 full weeks at 35 hours a week.
Knowing that we have 1.5 years to do this community service, and if we don't do it, we get 3 months of actual prison time.
Just a reminder, for having flown a
drone, in short, we got fined 1,000 euros and 70 hours of community service based on our town. That's why we stopped exploring in France. Any action gets us penalized. Honestly, this really frustrates me, which we've said from the beginning. Why does the justice system spend so much time on us when you see what's happening in France?
Yeah, it's clear. We're really just a couple of guys flying a drone, that's all. If we had actually gone on the SNCF site and explored, then we'd be looking for trouble, sure. But we just flew a drone. This is ridiculous.
So yeah, that happened at the end of November and it kind of cooled us off. We were a bit less motivated to work on making videos and everything, so it took a bit more time after that.
We're also making big videos on the side to compensate?
That's already done. So we had a little moment to reflect on ourselves and everything. And then we said, no, that's not what's going to stop us. And we prepared a lot of videos on our own, and that's why we said, okay. We took a short break, but now we're back with this comeback video. From now on, expect nothing but bangers on this YouTube channel.
And on top of that, much better edited than before, because there's a big update in terms of editing. I think you will have noticed it in the first videos coming out from China. We're now working with very talented professional editors. Please let us know what you think about the new editing style. We're eager to hear your feedback.
So, there you have it. That was a bit of the story of our trial. After that, in the end, we just went back to Paris. We didn't do much.
Cried in my bed.
We just cried.
In the shower too.
Literally cried. That was really, I think, the final blow we could take that forbids us from doing urbex in France. No more videos in France starting today, but this has actually been true since November 2023.
We made an exception for the SNCF trains by not entering the site. Now you're fully informed. Transparency matters to us, so we wanted to share this story with you. For those doing urbex in France, be careful. The law can still catch up with you and you're not invisible.
Posting videos on social media doesn't mean we'll get caught. Still, it matters, like the SNCF video, which has nearly 700,000 views, so it's normal that people who dislike it will see it. But even you, be careful when you do urbex in France. First, it's dangerous, it's risky, and you can get convicted. It happens,
That's the sound of a judge's gavel.
Yeah, I noticed. But actually, I was just thinking, we're the ones who get convicted the most in France.
Yeah, or maybe the others just don't say it.
We still had 3 trials 3 times.
Yeah, but it's also because we're the perfect poster boys to get convicted.
Anyway, thank you all for watching this video. This was Gabriel and Corentin. See you next Saturday at 6. Bye-bye.